yourselves and all of your wonderful faces. Yesterday, I had the wonderful opportunity to attend the closing of an art show called The Black Experience at the Orange Mountain Gallery. It was organized by the great, extraordinarily talented Carl Moore, who is sitting back here this morning. And it was a wonderful, wonderful show, many talented artists. We had some great, great information on Black history for Black History Month. And as the show, the program part was over, and I went over to greet a member of one of the churches where I formerly served as pastor. She came up and she said, "I'm so glad to see you. I'm so thankful and so glad for what you at Open Heart are doing in the month of February about love." And she said, I showed all of my friends. I said, "Look at what my former pastor," and I said, "That's okay, I'm still your pastor, we're fine. But look at what they're doing about love." And I do appreciate the opportunity this month that we've had to explore the ideas of love, to share the ideas. As we know, the first Sunday we talked about, actually like to talk about love more in terms of loving, because love is just something we kind of put out there, but when we talk about loving, loving is an energy, it's an expression, and loving is continually and constantly flowing. It's not something that's stagnant. It's not something that we can take away and give and take away and give, but it's something that we're constantly expressing. And when we allow ourselves to express love, we are reaching the highest level that we can. We are allowing ourselves to be in that space and place where love comes out, and it does so loving comes out, and it does so many great and wonderful things. And then the second Sunday, we started talking about the fact that while we say oftentimes that, I fall in love, I met the right person, and oh, the stars were shining, and the birds were singing, and the sun was out, and everything was great, and I fell in love the night I fell in love. When I fall in love, it will be forever. All of those things we say about falling in love and all of that. And the thing of it is that ultimately, if we fall in love, sometimes we don't get up. Sometimes love will leave us laying down after having fallen. And the more important aspect of that is that we learn to stand in love. Because after all of the cuteness and the things that enchanted us and the things that drew us to that person, after all of that goes away, then comes the real opportunity for loving. The real opportunity to choose to love that person. That there we see them for all they are. We go past as I said, when we first meet people, we meet their representative. And they meet ours. And after we have gotten through our representatives meeting one another, the real folks come together. And they choose loving there. And then last week, we talked about the fact that despite what we sometimes may think and feel, and I wasn't trying to disregard anybody's thoughts or feelings, but there's no such thing as wasted relationships. That every person we meet, but more importantly, people that we have relationships with, there is something that we can learn from those relationships, even if it's not to be a part of that person's life anymore and have them a part of ours. But whatever it might be, when we allow the lesson to come through, the lesson can invigorate us and energize us to move beyond that situation and circumstance, no matter how hurtful or painful that it might have been. And there are times when it has, but when we look at the bigger picture, oftentimes that was the catalyst for growth. Oftentimes that allowed us to be in a new space and place, and when we can understand that and just go ahead and know that, well, maybe that didn't work out, but I'm just going to bless it and move on. I'm going to do what I need to do to become and be who it is that I truly am, and I'm not going to allow that relationship that didn't work out to define me, because I'm more than that. So this this morning, that brings us to our final Sunday in this, where we talked about the entire month. Our theme, it's a love thing, to ask the question. And the question is your relationship a special relationship, or is it something else? Is it a special relationship, or is it something else? Is your relationship a special relationship, or is it something else? And be warned, I'm walking you into a trap. Because you think, yeah, mine's a special relationship. Oh, you might not. Because the way that I'm defining special relationships this morning, and you may be in one now, in a romantic relationship, because I decided this month we would talk about romantic relationship and relationships with couples and people like that. And if you have one, that's great. If you don't, that's still fine, because we hope that there's something for you that will help you when that comes along. But the thing of it is that a special relationship, A Course in Miracles defines a special relationship as being one of those instances in those cases where we, and I didn't know Emma was going to read what she read, but what we feel like that we need that other person to complete us. And we feel like that other person, that we have to have something in them that we need in order to complete us. And you heard me talk about this last week, and I'm going to say it again, that when you talk about the half and the half coming together to make a whole, it's just two halves together. It's not a whole. It's two halves coming together. It's not a whole. Only when we have two wholes coming together do we have something that's beyond a special relationship. A special relationship, we become codependent on one another because we know that we ought to be whole within ourselves, but because we still are working on ourselves and we get together with that other person, and as the Course in Miracles says, there's a subconscious guilt that's there that I haven't completely brought my full self and the wholeness of who I am into the relationship, and the other person hasn't. So we go around pretending and acting as if that we have all of it together, but yet there's something missing. Which is why oftentimes I will tell people who have been in relationships that didn't work, and they're out there ready to rush into something else. No, take some time. Take some time. And they'll oftentimes tell me, well, you're in a relationship, you don't know, and I'm getting older and all. Trust me. Trust me, it will be well worth the time to spend some time finding you. Spending some time understanding you, getting to know you, cultivating you, cultivating yourself, so that when that opportunity and that person comes along, you will be ready for them, and they will be ready for you. Because here's the thing that people don't always think about. That when you're giving off certain kinds of energy, certain kinds of people that correspond to that energy tend to show up. And if you're very needy and very clingy about stuff and about things, somebody needy and clingy and maybe a little crazy, it's going to show up because we haven't taken the time to get in touch. Y'all stop that. But because we haven't taken the time to get that part of ourselves and to come into the full knowledge and the full understanding of ourselves, and whatever it is, whatever kind of energy we're putting out there, you can best believe they will start showing up because they're drawn to it like bees to honey. They start drawn to like bees to flower. They start showing up. And so that's why it's important to take time to get self together. You remember a few months ago, I did a message that's called, I'm Leaving You for Me. The Confunction song, I'm leaving you for me. In other words, I am taking the time to get myself together, to know who it is that I am. Because when you take that time and you take that opportunity to get yourself together, to know who you are, then the person that is also in that place and in that focus in their life begins to show up. And people can't say, well, you're in a relationship, you can say that. Be patient. Patience is a virtue in this case. I think about my own relationship. Known him for a number of years. I wasn't ready back then when I first met him. Wasn't ready for a lot of different reasons. But one of them was the fact that where I was in here and in here wasn't where I needed to be. So we were like two ships passing in the night. See each other, open heart, hey, how you doing, all of that. I'll talk to you later. And then I started working on myself. And I started claiming self. My connection within. And I remember the first time we had a conversation where I just basically said, I'm not sure if I want to get married again. I definitely don't want to have any more kids. I had all these things, you know, everything like that. She's like, me too. But the deeper part of that was it had taken work discovering who I am. And the same with her. And I'm not standing here saying, oh, we have the world's greatest relationship or all of this or that. But it is something that allows each of us to grow. Because here it is. When you have not a special relationship, but what Walter Starkey calls in his book, it's called God, the Flowers and the Fertilizer, a holy relationship. And a holy relationship, you think about the word whole, when you have two wholes coming together, when you have people who are at a point where they are seeing the God in each other, that ultimately what you begin to see in a holy relationship and what you have in a holy relationship is that you recognize, as we did this morning when we do the moment of fellowship every week, and we stood up and we looked one another in the eye and we said, I greet you, I bless you, I see God in you. That's not just a fun thing to do on Sunday mornings to get us started so we can go around the room hugging one another. But that is an affirmation that beyond all that other that makes up you, beyond the physical, beyond the history, beyond the thoughts, beyond the, sometimes it kind of gets a little foggy here, beyond all of those things, I see the true you for who you really are, and that is that you are God in expression. You are God that is showing up uniquely and individualized as you. And because I am so affirming that which is in me, that God which is in me, that I am so in love with that which is me, that makes me up and that constitutes me and expresses as me, I also turn and I recognize and I see it in you. And our relationship becomes a holy relationship. And then, as Starkey also says, then we have inclusive relationships. Because not only the person that you're romantically involved with that you see God in, but you're able to see God in other people as well. That we recognize that the special relationship says that I have to get all of my needs met by that one other person. And we place a burden on that one other person to meet all of our needs. And the thing of it is, what a holy relationship recognizes is that I see in that person all of who they are, and I'm also grateful for all of the other relationships that I have with people, that I have my partner that I'm intimate with. I have my partner that we depend upon one another in a way that is interdependent, and we lift one another up and all of that. But we also have rich friendships and rich family relationships and all of those things that makes life what it is. And so I know that she and I will laugh together, do things together, but also have friends, we laugh and we do things together. And I have other people that are part of life, or part of the expression of life, so that life in its totality becomes holy. It becomes a time of seeing that where we are and who we are with and all of those things are worthy of our time, are worthy of our effort, are worthy of us being in that place, in that space where we can say that wherever we are standing on holy ground because we bring it with us.
Teach.
And we begin to recognize the rich journey that life offers for us. And so that's when we get to that place of loving. And you heard me say earlier that I don't get into, sometimes people like to talk about the different forms of love, and they'll take the Greek examples and talk about there's philia love, there's eros, there's agape, and go on and so on and so on. For me, loving it's that one energy, it's that one presence, it's that one vibration that allows me to see each of you and see God in you, that allows me to be able to be so thankful for life and for you and for the divine that I already know right here, right now, what life is all about. And as we sang this morning, I am a radiant light of God. And I shine the light of loving. And so and say it with me. I am a radiant light, of God. And I shine the light,